they train these children, they empower them. And how do we provide after empowering them? There should be banks in that locality where those people have been empowered, where they are. So that those banks will be monitoring the money you give them. A situation whereby we train this, or we happen to train, after training, you don't give any fund to move. How can they move? Honestly speaking, every day we continue giving the example with foreign countries. What we need are here. There is no state that doesn't have natural resources. And this natural resources is available for enhancement. How do we do it? Let us encourage the youth. This will reduce all these crime activities, vices that are youth are involved. Now, every day we are good in good policy making as a country, but our problem is what? Implementation. The area we start is the better for us so that we eradicate all this poverty. Every day, 3 things affecting Nigeria: hunger, poverty, depression, name them. If we cannot solve this with this youth, with this SM, where are we going to? Now, there is no how government can solve all the problems in this country. Individuals must do what? Must participate. How do they participate? By government. Now, central bank said they have given fund. Where is the fund? How many people have collected the fund? So people are complaining that they say central bank have given, but they have not seen anything. So what do we do? Now, like what one of the callers said, now private schools are there. They have used their money.
Thank you, Mazi.
Students are coming back. How would they pay the school fees for those teachers? They are just standby.
All right, Mazi.
For the government to come and help them.
Mazi,
now,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've made your point. All right, thank you so much, Mazi, Patrick Okorafo. Thank you so much. You made your point. Let's see if we take one last call. Okay, good. Let's come to our guest now. You've heard from our callers. Can you just give us a response to some of the issues?
With the issue, Mr. Paul from Enugu, who talked about bureaucracy in assessing. Well, what I would say is that if you look at what we've been able to do since we came in, look at a lot of our different schemes across board since we came in. We've tried to ensure that they are as open as possible. Look at the Empower scheme. You can see that you don't need to know anybody to be an Empower, to qualify for Empower. The MSME clinics, you don't need to apply to me. We are coming to your state. You have a business, just come and bring your problems and come and display if you want to display your products. The CBN loan that we're talking about now, the CBN loan through the NISA. I know that 50 billion was earmarked, and I know that only last week we heard that 5 billion had been released. Well, I think the first 5 billion was released to.
Okay, so it's in phases. Exactly. That was what I was going to say.
I think what they do is that they are not going. I don't assume that they will release the entire 50 billion at once. So what they've done is that last week they announced that 5 billion was released for some SMEs that had made it. I think they are now getting ready to release the next set of amounts, basically. So that's that for that. And with regards to training, the man from Abia mentioned training and empowerment.
Yes.
So now, for training and empowerment, we have the likes of the Industrial Training Fund and even SMEDA. They are in partnership to they have a scheme where they train SMEs to build their capacity. They've been doing this for some time now, but this year they've not been able to, of course, because of the COVID-19 lockdown. And I'm aware that once it is safe, they will probably start doing that again, basically. And for tax waiver, the first person that called, so that's the suggestion about tax waiver. So this is a welcome development, and you see the public and the business world must look at themselves as a partner to the federal government. So basically speaking, when you have creative or nice ideas, it is good to share them with us, basically speaking. So this is a nice idea, and we'll be sharing with the appropriate quarters to see what can be done in that regard.
Okay. Let's quickly, your response also, Mazi talked about the need for you to have banks present at the MSME clinics. That you have that on ground. Because they are the ones who are even supposed to directly provide some of this.
Yes.
Disburse the incentives.
Well, yes. We have from the government side, we have the Bank of Industry.
Okay.
We have the DBN, that's the Development Bank of Nigeria, whose mandate also is to give access of credit to MSMEs. No, we also have the the export import bank, Nexim, and from the private sector we have Access Bank. Okay. Yeah, we have Access Bank. So we have banks that are present. What I'm saying is that, you see, we are looking for a situation where the commercial banks and the federal government development banks are on the same page, where if a federal government intervention bank is giving a loan for 9%, the commercial banks are giving theirs at almost 20% or whatever it is. We want to get to that point where
uniformity?
Yes. Okay. Yes. And I believe we're closer to that point than we envisage. Thank you very much.
All right. Let's take messages now from our social media platforms. We have so many. We'll just take as much as we can. Let's start with Mustafa from our poll in Abuja. He says, I want to commend the presidency, especially the vice president, Yemi Oshibajo, for always encouraging and improving the MSMEs towards boosting the nation's economy. The 2020 award for this year MSMEs is another step in the right direction. Although the last year I didn't get the award, but my cousin sister got cash, and I hope I'll be among the awardees for the third edition of the MSMEs. Yes, we say big amen to your prayer. Omaga Namani, also Francis, is watching live from Amagunze in Enugu State. He says, from the lessons from the ravaging COVID-19 pandemic, our leaders should be more proactive rather than reactive. Testing centers and adequate medical facilities should be provided at every locality to check the incidences of disease spread at all times. It's quite pathetic that this century, some rural communities have no access to healthcare delivery. Thanks, and God bless Nigerians. Thank you. Amen. Please, where is your office in Akure, and how can I access the loan? Can we have a loan of 200,000 naira? This person did not identify himself at all, but please try and reach us. Send us your details so that Mr. Johnson here can take note of that. My name is Kenneth from Abuja. It says, please, can we have any numbers to call, that is contact numbers? Well, maybe we'll see if Mr. Johnson can provide that as the program progresses. Idaka Julian says, we appreciate the effort of Mr. President via NOSO, but it's not as easy like it's been mentioned, because it's boosted down to who you know connections. Yahya Wada says, good morning. I'm seriously impressed with the efforts of the present administration with regards to MSMEs. They have been able to give hope to the hopeless through their various motivational initiatives. I think those are the messages we have for now. We'll take others as the program progresses. Let's come to our guest. We want a general reaction. So people have mentioned one or two issues that have been raised. And somebody who talked about healthcare delivery, the commendation to the president, and if the possibility of winning an award in future.
Okay, let me start with Mustafa from Akpo. Well, thank you for the feedback. And congratulations to your cousin sister that won cash prize last year. Well, you said it yourself, so you can go and go online and apply for the portal is open. It's www.msmeclinics.gov.ng. You go once again www.msmeclinics.gov.ng. Once you get to the portal, you log on to the award section and nominate yourself. Oh, okay. It's that simple.
You can nominate yourself.
Yes, you nominate yourself. Oh, so it's that simple. It's really simple.
Okay, it's based on nomination from Nigerians.
Yeah. If I was a business owner, I'd just go there, do like a 1-minute video of what I do, and send it.
That's how.
So the nominations, no one nominates anyone.
Oh, I see.
So you nominate yourself.
So what if I ask my family, my wife, my children, my cousins, everybody to nominate me?
Yeah, it's what I'm saying is that it's so simple that you can just nominate yourself.
Oh, okay, and go ahead
and just move. What we do is that we always have cash prizes and or whatnot as prizes for this year, basically. Then for the issue of ravaging pandemic, our leaders.
Yes, so somebody talked about pandemics, that leaders should be more proactive than reactive.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this question boils directly on the COVID-19.
Yeah, so that should be
the relevant authorities.
Yes. Let me quickly address
somebody talked about the contact address in
Akure. Yeah. What I will do now is give you, am I allowed to? So what I can do now is give you a number of our secretariat where you can, they will give you the contacts that you will be required in Akure. So the number is 0807 656 3757. That is our secretariat.
Okay.
If you have any issues or any questions regarding, the number is 0807 656 3757. So you call that number. There's this person from Akure. They will give you the right location where to go to and how to get your problems resolved. And
I think those somebody talked about the effort of Mr. President via NERSO, but that is not easy because it has to do with who know who. What's something I mentioned earlier about somebody who needs to have connection at the top, no one to the top government official and the other to get some of these incentives.
Well, like I said earlier on, for the NISA, what I'm aware of is that you must have 2 passport photographs, a business proposal, your BVN, and I don't think you need to know anybody to have a BVN. I don't think you need to know anybody to have a passport photograph. And lastly, I don't think you need to your business proposal is determined or is dependent on you as a person. So the thing is, what I always is that you do the bit you can do, do the bit you can do, basically, and be rest assured that you have done your own bit, basically. So
just once again for clarity, 2 passport photographs, BVN number.
Yeah, and I think business proposal.
Okay, and a business.
A business proposal and a guarantor.
Oh, guarantor as well. Okay.
So all these things, I mean, once you have them, it puts you in a better position to access the loan or to benefit.
Okay, let's take more calls now. The lines are open. Hello. Can you hear us?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Nasser Hussein Kurbi. I'm calling you from Gusau, the capital of Zamfara State, Yalani Daniel.
Okay, yes, please. We can hear you. Go ahead.
I want to use someone to salute our guests today.
He can hear you.
Thank you very much.
Please, Yalani Daniel, I want to ask a question for our guests today, please.
Oh, go ahead.
Please, Mr. Yalani, we are in lockdown up now. And there's no business that people are doing because of this lockdown. All money they are finished in this time around. Please, if company are finished, how would like to address those people that didn't have anything to do our small business in this Nigeria? God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye for now. My name is Nasru Hussein from Almaty Gusau Zamfara.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sure if you've been listening, you hear that our guest has spoken extensively on how you can access these incentives. That's for small businesses, considering the COVID-19 pandemic. Yes, we have another caller. Hello, your name?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please. Your name, location.
My name is Elder Theophilus. I'm calling from Abuja, Utegon side.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yes. And I want to thank you for this program. I have a challenge. I used to be, I'm still the major promoter of a microfinance bank that has been assisting small and medium enterprises. And without any proper, procedure in the last administration, the microfinance bank was shut down, and the IC came to, fold it up. And for the first time, the notice we saw on the board was on our gate was that the microfinance bank went insolvent. Normally, when there is an insolvency, we are told, then we try to, bring more money to shore it up, shore the capital up. But nothing. And that was 6th of January 2015. I've been writing several letters as advice to CBN to review the case. And even our capital, the money that we have in UBA, had been locked down since that time. No response, nothing. If only they can give us back our money that is there, at least we can use it to to run some other businesses, employ more hands.
All right.
So I don't know how this group, the special advisor can assist. I am not ready for a fight. I just want them to at least refund that money that is locked up there.
All right. All right. Thank you, Theophilus, for reaching us. I'm sure Mr. Tola will respond and see how you can provide assistance. Hello. Let's take one last one. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and location, please, and go ahead.
I'm calling from Abapani, Kendogu.
What state?
I'm innocent. Innocent, educated.
Innocent, educated. From what state is that?
Innocent, educated.
Educated. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. The question is this: the loan concerning the COVID-19. The condition of getting the loan is high. Collateral, 70% of the amount.
Is that true?
Is too high for a person who is just coming out from COVID to apply for a loan. Is there any way that collateral condition can be reduced?
Can be brought down, okay.
And the term of repayment, 3 years or upward. That's the moratorium period.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let our guests respond now. We don't have much time. Hello?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, you can respond.
Hello.
Hello, go ahead. Go ahead. Let's take this one.
Yeah, this is the radio senator, Mr. Andrew Ajayi.
Oh, very good. Yes, we've been tracking you for a while now. Go ahead.
But Danny, it is not easy to really be struggling among millions of people to get this line.
That's true.
If you want us to speak personally, you people can collect my number. Almost all of you in Radio House has my number now.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Our guests might not have this privilege, so please.
It's all right, no problem. What I just want to contribute to this discussion today is very simple. I think it is high time federal government of Nigeria work with state governments and local governments and the banks in this country so that interest rates will be reduced for people who actually have meaningful idea, to engage in small businesses. Because I am someone who has been talking about industrialization, manufacturing in this country. Even people in the civil service can work up to 20 years. You retire them and give them good money to go and set up cottage industry. And in addition to their gratuity and whatever, government make loans available to them at a very cheaper rate of maybe 2 or 3%. But when you are giving people loans in the country to start a small scale business and they are paying up to 20% or 25%, it is of recent now I'm hearing that Mr. Emefiele said that because of COVID-19 they are now wanting to do it for 12.5 percent. That is still too on the high side. If you want Nigeria to be like China in terms of producing goods that China is even disgracing our people, locking them out of hotels, you can make this interest rate as cheap as 2-3%. Then they will monitor their people will begin to manufacture and will become a very great country. These are my ideas. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you. Radio Senator.
Yes?
We'll need your phone number all the same. The guest needs your number.
It's all right. Can I give it on air?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
All right. 0803.
Yes, please.
614. 89. 80.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you
My
very much.
name is Andrew Ajayi. God bless the program.
Definitely. If you're still listening, the SSA media will get through to you now that I believe he's also listening, and he must have noted your contact, your phone number. Thank you so much.
No problem. We will try our best.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, the next, we also have a caller we've been trying to reach who called in last week, who called from Ila. That's Adao Nogo. We wish she will get, Adao Daze rather, wish she'll get back to us, yes, so that we can also take note of her number. In the meantime, our time is fast spent. You have about 4 minutes or so to just respond to some of these issues, then we'll take messages. Or rather, let's take messages first because we don't have much time. We have here from Henry Paul in Katsina. He says, I got and filled up a form on my email in 2018-2019 as a congratulated winner of MSME award, but was never invited. Please, what happened? Thanks. Okay. Mr. Tola is already nodding here. Mohammed here, calling from Garki here, says, good morning. Fixing our informal and informal healthcare system is the best way to forestall this sort of crisis we are currently facing. Informal healthcare system is what he said. Okay, back to you now,
okay,
Mr. Tola.
Okay, let me quickly start from the awards man.
Yes, Henry.
Okay, now if you apply for the awards, like we said, it's personal. You are the one that will do your application. If you apply and you never got any message back from us, it means that maybe your video you sent was not good enough. See, the trick to being even qualified to get to the final is that you must send a very good video, something that everybody can watch. So maybe your video was never good enough, but I will encourage you to keep trying. We've had people that tried years before that failed, but came back and even won cars the last year. So I will encourage you to keep trying. A man from Casina.
We had another elder, Theophilus, who talked about a microfinance bank. That was okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
So now for elder Theophilus, some of the issues you've raised with regards to this microfinance bank, I would urge you to call the station back. I'm going to leave my details with the station.
Okay.
Call the station back. These are circumstances that we'll have to discuss further. I need to get a few more information from you, then before we know how to start how to route your issues. So please kindly call back once you are out of here. Right. Then most distinguished radio senator, Senator Andrew Ajayi. Yeah, I quite agree with you on some of your takes that we actually need to get the access to loans for MSMEs has to get to a point where it is just single digits. It has to get to that point. I quite agree with you. We are working on that. I believe we'll get there soon. I have your number. You can call the radio for my number. Let's keep discussing. Let's listen to you and share some of our own ideas and what we are currently doing behind the doors with you. Then
Innocent Ejika, he talked about a high loan, that the collateral for loan is quite high.
Now, Innocent, you see, there are several loans. There are several loans, and there are several loans and stimulus flying around. So I need to be sure the exact loan. The one I talked about was a nicer loan, which I know that at the moment is about 5% for the next 1 year, and it's usually like 9%.
Go ahead.
Okay, and it's usually like 9%. Well, I am told that would have to leave. I'm willing to come back at some other time because with the SME space, we always have something to talk about. So, thank you to all our callers. Thank you very much for some of the suggestions I've heard, very creative suggestions. And God bless Nigeria and God bless.
We'll say a big amen to that. But before we go, we just want you to say something to Nigerians in about a minute on considering the challenges that have come with COVID-19. Many have predicted that the world will not be the same, businesses will not be the same anymore. Just an advice to young entrepreneurs. What should be done now? And how do we forge ahead? Finally.
Okay, so for MSMEs across the country, businesses, it's been predicted that businesses are not going to be the same worldwide. And I'm throwing a challenge out to you there as an SME that, listen, behind every negativity, there's a positive, behind every negativity, there's positivity. Now, you as a business owner, dig deep to see how you can, in the midst of this pandemic, how you can further take your business to a higher level. Because I can tell you that worldwide, despite the lockdown and despite the negativity that the pandemic has brought, there are small businesses that are thriving right now as we speak worldwide.
Of course.
So I would like your story to be that story of, it was when COVID came, my business got shut down, but I dug deep, and this is how I bounced back.
Okay.
We want to hear your bounce back stories.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you very much.
So much. I really beg your pardon for cutting in. Our time is fast spent. Please,
fine.
let's now remind Adao Daze, the line still remains open. So even after the program, you can still call in and give us your details so that we can reach the office of the Vice President. We also want you to drop your details so that we can reach you easily. Okay. The line, are we allowed to announce this is the line we can reach your office now officially for MSMEs, or the line to reach? Okay, the line to reach his office is 0807 656 3757. Once again, 0807 656 3757. We wish to really thank the Special Assistant to the President, Muhammadu Buhari, on small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, Mr. Tola Johnson, for coming on today. We wish you come back next time we come calling on you. At this time, let's thank the production crew in person of the news producer, Conrad Labe and Hassan Hussein, online editors, Timothy Bamidele, ICT Israel Chiokaha, studio manager was Prince Afonia Ugweze, engineer Hassan Usman, photographer Sadiq Sarome, cameras were handled by Folua Oloyede and Chinedu Megwa. Our facilitator was Oluwada Milola One, the producer Oledo Mbiwe, executive producer, of course, Sani Sineman. Join us next week for another edition of Have Your Say, and not to forget, of course, the Director General of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria in person of Dr. Mansur Liman. I am Olayemi Daniel, asking you to stay safe. COVID-19 is the respect of no man. Goodbye.